What was that? You
That was
choked
my
him out on
introduction for my
stage?
political day.
Hmm.
Hey,
Okay.
that's how people. I made that, and I took me like a week to make, bro. And I felt like that's how people look at America and stuff like that, for as politics and elections that are going on. So I made that like an intro to let people know this is what I'm talking about on this day, especially for Fridays. And then I'm not really on one sided. I'm gonna try my best to stay in the middle. Um, like well, I don't know. I guess I've been one sided, but I'm gonna stay more in the middle. I'm gonna give my most biased opinion. People like it, they like it. They don't, they don't. It is what it is.
Okay.
I'm not gonna sit up here and sugarcoat nothing. But welcome to the Burn Live show, everybody. I'm your host, Capiche. I got CEO. I got Johnny in the building. I know it's been a while. I've been down. I had the flu, fevers, backaches, everything possible in the book. I also thought I end up having to go to the hospital. Thank God I didn't. But we're here. A lot has happened. Um,
Like what?
we got court case. Biggest thing for me is court cases after court cases after court cases after court cases. I think this is the month of court cases. The biggest thing that people are talking about now is the Carmelo Anthony case, and how can this kid be innocent and stuff like that. Um, the defendants, people have been talking, juries, there's been one-sided. Is this trial racial profile? The elections going on in California. How is it 5 days after the election? Are we still counting ballots? Do people think that's fair? It is a lot going on in politics. You also got sports where you got the news going on. I mean, you got the USA soccer going on around the United States of America. You got Chicago losing. It's Indiana. I mean, Chicago losing the Bears. It's like I said, so much going on. And I bring all this up because people are like, damn, how they got to do politics. Technically, it does when you crunch down to the numbers in a situation like that. I don't know. We're gonna get into all of it. We're just gonna break some few things down, point some few things out. I'm gonna ask Johnny what some concerns about him and his community. Ask CEO what some things concerned about him and his community, and we're gonna go from there and see where this conversation can go. Without a further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like y'all just give a quick hello, how y'all doing, what y'all been up to the audience.
Shit, I'm doing all right.
Hey, what's going on? I'm doing good, man. Just here chilling, just yeah.
Just, just one of those years, okay? So, like I said, y'all, it's a lot of things going on, and where do we begin? I don't know. So let me just stroll about my news feed and see where we go. You know what? We'll start. No, this is hella long. Yeah, we just start with this old good old Carmelo Anthony case because unfortunately that's the biggest thing that's popping all over my news feed. Um, I think we in day 4, day 3, or something like that of this trial. Testimonies have been coming out on both sides. Um, was Carmelo Anthony supposed to be under the tent? Did he have the right to still stab a Metcalf? I think that's the kid's name in the chest. Was he provoked? Um, there's been a lot of testimonies. There's been a lot of he says, she says all over the internet. A lot of people want to claim that this is one of those racial profile cases that's out there. I'm here to tell you from what I've been hearing personally, it's not a racial profile case. The reason why I say it's not a highly racial profile case. It's for the simple fact that in the testimony that you've been hearing that actually been on stand and documented, there's not no one of those persons, and they're of all ethnic backgrounds, have said that it was racially profiled. There was no aggression from the white kid. I'm just gonna say it like that so people understand where I'm coming from. But there was just a telling of Carmelo that he can't be under the tent and he shouldn't be there. The kid that Carmelo went to go see under the tent actually testified in court yesterday too. And with that testify right there, starts off the first bombshell revealance of the case for me and my audience to y'all. Hold on, y'all. Got Doc in the background. Oh Lord. Doc gave a thumbs up to us, y'all. Say he'll be here in 15 minutes. But yet again, back to the case. Metcalf, the black kid, went under the tent to say hi to a kid, and the kid testified. The kid said quotes of, "We wasn't really friends. I was more cool with kid's girlfriend more than actually Metcalf." You know, when I heard that, I don't know if that was supposed to be alarming, but to me that was alarming. Kind of set up like, you know, we wasn't friends. I was on cool with your girl. We under the tent. We asked you to move. You don't want to move. You told some people, I wish you would. They kind of forced you to. You stabbed them. This is just the blatantly part of it. I'm gonna get into this so we can hear a little bit more. Hopefully, News Nation ain't all emotional on this.
Now 19-year-old Carmelo Anthony is facing life in prison if convicted of first-degree murder. He's accused of stabbing 17-year-old Austin Metcalf in the heart with a folding knife after the two had an argument. Prosecutors say Anthony provoked the confrontation by entering and then refusing to leave a rival high school's team tent. They say he then stabbed Metcalf in a, quote, sneak attack. The defense counters that Metcalf started the fight and Anthony reacted in a split second out of fear. The case has drawn tense and highly charged protests outside the Texas courthouse.
Doesn't
Some protesters have used the trial as an opportunity to try.
Hey, yo, I've never seen nothing like that before. Oh, man, that's crazy.
Why do you think that's crazy, sir?
Not crazy in the sense of insane, but crazy because it startled me. I've never seen nothing like that before. So,
in cases like this where you got a kid so-called defending himself, and then you got a kid that's so-called defending a whole track meet full of his so-called brethrens, as they say it, and they say under a tent is more like a locker room. You know, you really don't have strangers in a locker room during a basketball meeting, during a football meeting, because you know things come up stolen. I know incidents where I was playing basketball, things did come up stealing. You know what I'm saying? We do know how to get inside our home locker rooms and stuff like that. So that's another thing where this does stimulate from, you know, and you know, you feeling justified, or we in this place where you can't tell nobody nothing. That's sad, where you can't tell a human being nothing. I can't tell you nothing. You're not my mama, you're not my daddy. You're not a place of an authority. Now, are we raising our kids to respect adults? Or is that just blown out the window? That's a good question,
Yeah, it is.
Johnny.
I think we are raising them. I would say yeah, but then I also say like sometimes you just catch people at the wrong time at the wrong moment. You know, I wouldn't label someone that doesn't want to respect you or talk to you in that moment and write them off in a sense. You know, I'll just try
Like
to.
what happened 2 days where four kids, we ain't gonna go to the coloration, tried to rob a Marine guy, put a gun to his head, ages 13, 12, 11, put a grown man gun to it. Respect for elders.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And
You
oh
know,
yeah, and it was caught live too. So we got footage of that too. Like wow.
yeah, why they would do that, I don't know. That's something you got to talk to them about. That's something I got. You got to figure out.
So it's just like are we respecting our elders? Are we respecting the places that we go into? I bring that up too because like this is just deeper than just this Metcalf. This is deep. This is like prom dates and
Hmm.
graduation ceremony. Like man, I don't want to say it, but I want to say it. But that C word starting to look awfully tempting to put it on the plate again.
What, crazy?
Colonizing.
Why you say colonizer?
Why do I say colonize?
Yeah.
Because to be proud of something, you have to know what it is. To train the brain to know what it needs to be proud of, I think probably needs to be taking place. Colonizer. Retraded the brain to understand what is right for wrong. In a group capacity. I think that was a nice way.
Man, you
I
got the
think that was
Wi-Fi
very nice
sick.
to say it like that. Sheesh. What's going on? We getting nothing to that one, huh? No combat. All right. I feel like I'm making a breakthrough or something. Like I'm actually getting through. And my boy Johnny to understand it. Like I communicate person.
What you
No
say?
tragedy, nothing in the past.
I was
No,
just gonna
no
say,
16, 7.
you talking about making a breakthrough?
What?
He can't even get through his Wi-Fi.
a, a breakthrough? What? Yeah, I don't know, man. You want to know
What are you
something funny?
breaking through?
You want to know something funny today, Capiz? Let me tell you something. I was driving. I wasn't driving, but my uncle. Well, not my uncle. He's my cousin, like my older cousin. Not like, but he is. I'm trying to figure out what's his title in my family, right? But he's my older cousin, about close to his 70s. So he's taking me back home from church, and he brought up something. He was like, "Man, I don't know nothing about this area." I was like, "Why?" He was like, "Because when we were younger, you won't want to come through these areas because if you do, you will, you will definitely get harassed by some white people and by the police." And I was like, "Oh man." It's like, yeah. I'm like, well, thank God things are different now, But yeah, that's what he said. So
Did you ever see? That's funny that y'all would let a person tell y'all that story and you just like, oh, okay, cool. I believe you. What do you mean? Can you go into details? I'm gonna call you out on your bullshit because that's what I would do to my uncles or aunties who says any irrational racial thing that happened to them, and I'm like, okay, especially me because I grew up in the same freaking neighborhood as my parents on the same few fucking blocks as my parents. So Shenandoah, Shaw Gardens area, that's the same neighborhood they grew up in, right? And across the park, they used to say the same shit. Oh, don't go across the park. Those white people that get you, that hurt you, that harass you. The police will beat you. But yet again, we grew up and we had to go over there because, school bus will pick you up and drive you over there to pick up other kids that was over there. Uh, and then when I got a little older, and you know what I'm saying, I had friends over there. We used to cross the park to go hang out with kids over there. They used to have the most dangerous hill that was so fun to ride your bike down. I'm talking about a good 5 blocks of just straight pure, insanity. No brakes because you can't stop or you're going to fly forward, get your face all over the road. So you know what I'm saying? There were a whole bunch of reasons to go over there and a whole bunch of reasons not to go over there. You still went over there. None of my friends got into no racial nothing. Not my white friends or not my black friends. I'm 40. Okay? I'm 40 in Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri. And if people just Google it, Missouri was one of the last states to let go racism. So fucking what? Rah.
Capiz, I want you to look up this word. It's called relativism.
Hey, Jibba. You look my Jibba, don't come out like that. We Apple over here. We should look up this word for you right about. Where is it? Look up what word?
Relativism.
Relativism is the idea that points of view have no absolute truth or validity, having only a relative value according to differences in perception, consideration, or context. This philosophical stance can be applied to many areas, most notably epistemology, where it suggests that knowledge is subjective, and morality, where it posits that ethical principles are not universally binding. For instance, cultural relativism suggests that we should understand practices within a culture's own context, rather than
Dud. Next.
Yeah, you kind of fit in that. You know what I mean? And the reason why I say that is because like you're not necessarily open to other people's that especially I would say more so in the black community. You're not open to the idea or the effects that it may have had on African Americans growing up in these in the world before you came in it. So it's kind of like you kind of have a stance where it's like, well, if it's not relative to me or if it doesn't necessarily affect me, I don't necessarily see it. I don't think that is, it's not necessarily real, you know?
No, I'm more like if it doesn't exist reality today in society as a number, as a group, as a whole, as something that you see on an everyday basis, like a person that goes to the bank. When you see him go to the bank, guess what? You see him going to the bank. There's also a receipt. There's a camera. There's somebody who shakes hands. There's a cause and an effect. Yes, I believe in cause and effect in life. I believe that stuff that happens in the past has cause and effect for the future today. And that's why today looks the way it looks today. Realistically, not some, oh my God, I know of the past. I never experienced the past. I never seen the past. So I'm just gonna assume that how I feel today has something to do with the past. That's more how you be trying to put me in a category of feeling racism and discrimination in DEI here in America.
Right. In your world, it doesn't exist because it's not, relative to you.
Now, here I go once again, and I love having the scene. Like, I think there are racist people or discriminating people in America? Yes, yes, there are. There are individual people that probably go all the way out their way to hate on your color. Yes, there are people out there like that. I'm not saying they're not. Is it an effective problem in a neighborhood? No, it is not. Should it be a top 5 thing on your list? No, it should not. Should it be a top 20 thing on your list? No, it should not. Does it exist in America somewhere? Is that better?
No, I mean it's still relative to you, You're still making it a thing that's still so small. I'm not saying that we should walk around, thinking that people are going to be racist to us. I don't think that that's a way that we should think. But am I going to act like that's not a way that some people think? Yeah, I mean, and am I not going to act like the reason why they think that is maybe not for a valid reason? No, I'm not. I'm gonna, I can understand why some people still think the way they think, or possibly maneuver the way they maneuver. Does that is that me excusing it? No, because if I was to excuse it, then that would be me saying it's okay to think that way. You can think that way as long as you want, and I wouldn't want somebody to be trapped in that type of way of
Who's
thinking.
gonna stop them?
So, so it's more so a method as to how to reach them, right? And understand what they're going through and maybe what they have been through, and try to understand them where they are now, and try to help, be just be a helping hand, and
To
try to
be
pull
a
them out.
okay. We want to get away from this so-called discrimination and racism in America so bad, to where we don't even want to point out the true race hustlers that's actually in our face, that's fuel bullshit and try to make us be so divided. Oh, we can point at one person only. Yeah. That now I'm just so sick and tired of. But anyway, but then we got people in our own community, Dr. Umar, who do the same thing. But yet again, we don't try to, hey, why we don't come to him and sit down with him like, man, why you gotta be so racist? What did they do to you? Like, how can we fix this? Because you need to put a school together that you've been trying to do for 2 decades. Let's stop blaming the white people, and let's focus on the school. so we can help our black people. Because they ain't learning nothing in school but how to twerk on damn stage to get a piece of paper. But we're not gonna talk about that. We don't know nothing about that. We don't know nothing about a mayor who took $100,000 from her whole community, got kicked out as mayor, then ran down there to Atlanta and try to be part of that black caucus down there and mess up what they got going on. Like, why is we before we? That's what I'm. That's the problem. We want to go blame Trump all the time. Fuck Trump. Fuck him. He ain't shit. How about that? If you want to go fix them, let's go fix these little holes that we got in our own.
He said the odds are even. No, we break that.
Oh shit, they're outnumbered.
No, my bad. It took me a little while. New manager. Then I had to make sure they were all good, and then make sure all the little ones was good before I jump on here. So I do apologize, guys. Here's some stuff in the background. If you need me to mute, let me know. I'll mute in
Doc, if you don't, Doc, listen, if you do not cut that stuff out right now, I don't want to hear nothing that you got going on in your house. I only want to hear you and your voice. Everything else has to go.
So you want to hear my voice? You want to hear my voice, big boy? Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm just kidding.
I know. I can tell by the
I got
tone.
nothing but love for you, baby.
All right. What's the topic? I got here late. I apologize.
Capiche is being racist as
Racism.
usual.
That's fair. That's fair. He doesn't like those dark men. You know, they get on his nerves. They're what Charlie Kirk say? They're lazy, or was that Trump? It was one of them.
And yet again, one's gone and one's almost out of office. So what the hell?
Hey, look. When you put yourself as a reputation for being one of the shittiest human beings to ever hold the position, you're going to be remembered for the rest of your fucking life and the rest of everybody else's fucking life. It's going in the history books.
Yet again, they got a good history book, Johnny. What about our history books?
Yeah, we don't got one. We don't got one of them.
What are we talking about here? Because I feel like I am putting out information that is not being received the right way.
No, it's being received. Capiche just went to another topic.
That's what I thought. I was like, man, that definitely swapped, right?
We're talking about the one kid that was stabbed in the heart by some black dude, I think. I don't know the situation that well. And then we got diverged onto another conversation about racism.
Yeah, I didn't want to stay too much on the Carmelo thing.
We were talking about like neighbor. I brought up a situation with my cousin. He told me that when he was growing up, he couldn't go in certain neighborhoods, or they may have gotten mistreated, by white people. They would have. So I brought that up, and
what put it in perspective for me would have been like my grandparents talking about how they felt awkward about having to not let certain people use certain water fountains or restrooms, right? And if that's what they'll do for the most basic of needs, what would they have done to everything else in order to make it slide their way? Right?
Okay. Which I didn't deny, didn't happen. In which what I said was, are there hateful people out here in America? Yeah.
Most of America is hateful at this point. Yeah. They've been taught that they are supposed to be better than the rest of the world, and they've been holding that entitlement for, 40 years plus? Sound about right? Just like people were like, oh, the wage gap between African American and Caucasian is blah 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 blah. But what they don't take into account is the 60 to 80 years of trying to get past the previous 100 years. Right? You had everybody inheriting land, inheriting certain things that the other side wasn't. When they got freed, what did
Black
they
people
have?
was inheriting land, just not
I
at a
get that,
rate
but
of
not nearly at the same rate, and not even close to a percentage that would have made it.
technically. If you look at the numbers, we only 13%.
I sent it to you in the podcast, so be careful with what you're about to say. I sent you the whole thing that had statistics backing it up. If you didn't watch it, that's on you.
I didn't watch it, but yet again, what I'm saying is, if you want to look at it as something that's so small, we're small, we're little.
Per
We
capita
haven't
statistics.
we haven't grown as a population since when?
That's because they did what was supposed to happen. It was supposed to be next racial. That's what they were going for.
Anyway,
the benefits.
We haven't grown as a population since Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints of Jehovah Witnesses. Okay, since America been born, we have not grown as a population.
No, that you've been regulated and sorted out based off of the people that came before. That's why they drew the maps and only let certain people live in certain areas for the longest time. Yo, what's up, Mandy? Been a while since I've seen her.
On me.
But like most of the stuff that we have in place. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. You over there watching Netflix by the look of it.
Hey, hold on. Can we just take the pause and give you a proper congratulations?
Congratulations, man.
To the little one, right, man? Like, dang, busybody working. Like, yeah, that was rude of me.
It's all good, brother. You've been sick, dude. You haven't been feeling well. I'm not going to get on your case about that. But I do appreciate it. I'm sure the wife does too. She's over there feeding the little turd right now because he decided to get hungry. She'll be back over in a minute. Thank you all very much. Since we're doing, the congratulations thing, I'm going to go ahead and do my piece because I've been trying to figure out when to do it. This has provided a lot of stability for my brain. I do appreciate you letting me come on, co-host, and help you out with things when you need me to. But it helps me just as much as it helps you. Like, it gives me something steady that I don't have to sit here and go into a downward spiral. For those that don't know, I've talked about it before. I do get into a depressive state between 2 and 5. For some reason, my brain just starts thinking all kinds of negative things. So normally, when I'm waiting or doing the podcast and stuff like that, I'm thinking about stuff about the podcast. It keeps my mind off of things. So I very much appreciate you all letting me do this.
I appreciate that. All right. America's in shits.
I don't think that can be put any other way, dude. We got China and Canada closing in on everything that we're losing every single time we lose it. Russia is like, yeah, fuck yeah, kill them motherfuckers.
Yo, Caprice, look this up. They said Canada passed a bill to ban some of the some things in the Bible or something like that. I guess how people be preaching or something, They kind of ban some things.
I know they've been having a religious war up there. I haven't seen nothing like that recently. I know a dude, he give me a second.
This is the first I've heard about it, so I'm gonna have to look into that.
I wouldn't have thought no ban or nothing.
I know that with America,
one thing I would say for right now is I'm gonna go to Gemini and see what Gemini say. So, ask your question.
Canada's Bill C9. What does it do? In March 2026, Canada's House of Commons passed Bill C9, also called the Combating Hate Act in a 186 to 137 vote. The bill now moves to the Senate for review and possible amendment before becoming law. Key changes: removing the religious exemption. For a majority of the bill is an amendment to strip a long-standing defense from Canada's hate speech preventions. Let me read all. Under the current criminal
this
code,
includes an amendment to remove the good faith religious expression
Yeah.
defense for criminal hate speech. Along with that, the Combating Hate Act also makes it a crime to willfully intimidate or obstruct people from accessing places of worship, schools, and community centers. It also creates a new offense for publicly displaying certain terrorism or hate symbols, and adds a specific definition of hatred to the criminal code to clarify when conduct crosses the line into a hate crime.
So more or less like they used to bash on like gay people in the church. I know that they can't do that anymore. And if they get reported, they
The
will.
removal of that
have
good
issues
faith
because of it.
religious defense has been highly controversial, particularly for religious communities. Many are concerned that without it,
My bad. So there you go, Johnny. They're actually trying to.
They're not trying to ban things. They're trying to stop people from using hate speech in their sermons and stuff, and using it under the statute of protection that was given to church and state.
Well, hold on. Let me read more.
That's what it looked like. I'd have to read the entirety. But
So this says, what does a bill not do? Fact checkers and official reporting confirms that Bill C-9 does not ban the Bible or criminalize public reading or quoting of scripture. It does not make it illegal to share biblical teachings in public. Instead, it changes how religious expression is treated in hate speech cases. It can no longer be used in a defense in some hate propaganda offenses. Scope of new offenses. The bill introduces new criminal code offenses, including intentionally promoting hatred in public using certain hate or terrorism related symbols, defending hatred narrowly and classifying that religious statement in discussion, publication, or debate are now prohibited unless they willfully promote hatred against an identifiable group. Political and legal.
do me a favor, KP.
What up?
First, let me ask him, what's the name of the you said of C9?
Bill C-9.
Bill C9. Can you turn on Gemini for a quick second?
My favorite thing to do.
Gemini, can you put Canada's C9 bill into layman's terms for me?
think of Bill C-9 as a new set of rules designed to make Canada a safer place by cracking down on hate. One major change is that people won't be able to use their religious beliefs as an excuse to spread harmful speech. It also makes it a crime to stop people from safely entering places like churches, schools, or community centers. Finally, the bill bans the public display of certain symbols associated with hate and terrorism.
Yep, so that makes sense. So basically, it'll stop them from flying any symbols that are coordinated with terrorism. It'll stop people from using religion as a defense when they're being hateful towards people or using certain words that are considered hate speech. And then, obviously, protect the church itself and not let people just randomly come in and do whatever they want. I think that's a little based off of like what's happened recently in the world with was it Jimmy, where he went to the churches and started doing all that.
Don Lemon.
Or Don Lemon, that's right. I knew it was somebody.
Here, let me argue with Doc real quick.
By all means. I might be misunderstanding it, but like that's what it was telling me based off of my own.
So to devil's advocate, me being the Satanic Temple member, right?
Right.
I'm devil's advocating. Uh, what do you think are some ways this bill could be used wrongfully? Do you think that this could be used to discriminate against, say, Christians or whatever that have certain religious beliefs to where they can't express their opinions of things like the gay community or against Islam or things like that?
That's what I was thinking. Is yeah, they're probably leaning it more towards the not hate speeching towards like LGBTQ, but like the way that it's worded sounds like they're more using it so that people can't bash on Israel.
Do you think that this could be used in negative ways? Like, it is a fact that they have immigration problem amongst like Muslim countries, right?
Right.
They do have a large Muslim population that comes into Canada. Do you think that it would make it harder to protest things like that?
No, they just have to word things differently. I don't think it'd make it harder. I think they just have to be more careful about what they're saying and what symbols they're using.
It makes me wonder if they're gonna go like what UK has done to like a couple of people, where they done banned a couple of podcasters from coming out there for so-called anti-Semitic speech against Israel, and now they can't go out there to the UK to go do some stuff.
Oh, speaking of that, did you hear that Sean Strickland got banned from the UFC event because of anti-Semitism?
No.
What did he? Did they say what he said, or did they bleep it out?
In my opinion, I don't think nothing that Sean Strickland said was crazy. It just has to do with this administration's overwhelming defense of Israel at all costs.
Yep.
And they banned Sean Strickland. And a lot of UFC fighters are against this move because a lot of UFC fighters don't like Israel.
Hey, I think when it comes to stuff like that, business, freedom of speech, but it's the White House. You might have to just skip that one fight.
I don't know. That's the fight we're supposed to actually take to them most of all. As the people, aren't we supposed to, if we don't feel it's justified for the government to reach out and do something like that, that it's our job to go and voice that?
I mean, voice it, but I mean, it's just the fact that he's not going to be able to go to it.
But that's the thing. Like,
well, here, let me say this. They want to bring the UFC community to the national stage, right? Mm-hmm. It's a community with their own culture. You want to bring that to the national stage, but you're telling them you can't bring their thoughts and opinions to the world stage, national stage, but you just want the clout off of it? Or is it that you're trying to influence the UFC's culture with your political culture?
That's a good question.
I don't think a lot of things should cross over. I think that if you're going to have a political standpoint, that's fine, but you shouldn't bring it into your personal or business aspect. It should always be kept separate, which is really hard for human beings to do, staying non-biased to something they believe in. But the influences of outside things affecting should be minimal. Obviously, the rights and moral understanding should always be kept really close. But when it comes to like, other bits of it, religion and other, I think it should be left out.
I definitely don't.
Go ahead.
When it comes to your business, you know what I'm saying, being outspoken and then publicizing something, you know what I'm saying, and you're supposed to be this brand or something, that's isn't always an effect right there, good or bad, you know what I'm saying, and you got to take it how it comes. And I'm starting to learn it, like just sitting back, just watching, you know what I'm saying, not just like boom, 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 this how I feel. It's like in this industry right now and moving forward, it's like, hey, if you're part of one of those big brands and you want to speak, okay, cool, speak. But what might come after that, you know what I'm saying? All the way from Kaepernick to anybody else on up next and who want to go forward to the WNBA to all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's a business, and it looked good for you know what I'm saying, people to do that for a while. They got their money, but once the company start losing money, you know, it's time to switch it up. You don't like Israel? Okay, you don't like Israel. Do we all have to know that you don't like Israel? Do I'm you know, or do we want to see you in the ring fighting? Because this is, you know, this is nobody else is gonna do nothing like this. You know what I'm saying? It's coming up. Have a UFC fight at the White House. Ain't nobody gonna do that. Nobody got the balls to do that shit.
You might lose me for a second. I'm gonna
That's
move my
all good.
mic or my camera.
Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? And when I look at that part, just that part of the aspect, it's just like, you know, one time event. Is it ever gonna happen again? No, not really. We really don't want to push those buttons. We don't want to. Hold on. We don't want another Shannon Sharp. How about that? Is that better? Another Shannon Sharper. Cause
Hey,
if I ain't
Shannon
gonna lie,
Sharp.
yeah. Cause I'm just saying, we was all up here and we was doing good, and one of y'all went off, and somebody gave you an opportunity to make $100 million, and all you had to do was say something that was just outrageous about one of these members up here. Well, about Capiche, I want you to say it. I want you to get your money. You know what I'm
Nope.
saying?
If it's not how I feel, I'm not saying it, dude. I'm not
And
doing it.
see, and see, that's why I knew Doc was gonna say something like that. Doc, like, nah, man, that 100 mil out the door, like,
I'm
flawless.
Look,
I'm
not
like, nah,
saying nothing either.
you crazy,
Bub, I don't
man.
think you understand the way I would feel if somebody were to try to pay me to say something I didn't feel, right? To somebody
Yeah,
I know specifically, even if it's somebody I don't know, that doesn't matter, I guess, at this point. I
100 mil.
I am not the piece of shit I used to be. You get me 5 years ago, you're gonna get a bit. I will say anything in the world. I will sit here and start calling you the most disgusting shit in the world. But as of 5 years ago, I am not that person. I will feel like I am selling my soul, and it's meaningless.
Sometimes chasing the bag is not worth chasing the bag.
Facts. You putting them in the shower?
But other than that, man, we gotta look. We gotta look at just like situations like everything is a split second. You know what I'm saying? You got 2 second decisions, and you know what I'm saying, like decisions on the line. And are we making the right ones every day for ourselves and our loved ones? Or are we manning up to go out here and conquer the world because the world is trying to conquer us?
I guess the way that I've like put it to my wife is I want her thinking for now, and I need to be thinking for later, whether that's later on in our lives or later after me and her are gone, right? Because the hindsight isn't always there, but preparation for what is unexpected is always, helpful. So I'm always looking a little further ahead than she is. I want her looking for like current comfort and ways to improve things now, and I'm thinking for the long term. Which also means when I'm gone, sadly, but like, you know.
Hey! I just lost a real close schoolmate friend recently, and I ain't gonna lie, I really had thought that would mentally got me sick because I was like, man, I seen the news first, then I got,
Oh, I'm sorry, brother.
and I was bro, and you know where a person mind goes when after like, man, I was really tripping. and couldn't get my thoughts right or nothing and nothing like that. I was just like, man, what am I gonna do?
Oh, you put the Strickland got banned thing in the chat. I was wondering why you put it in there. You know, you could have just pulled it up and KP can have you pull it over, right?
I don't think that I got those privileges on here.
Down at the bottom of your screen where it has the mic, the camera, and the little plus button. If you press the plus button on the screen, it'll say all the different stuff. You just go to share screen, and then you can click whatever screen you want to share. And you can pull it up, and KP will pull it in from the back. What is it, backstage?
Yeah. I've been trying to tell them people got access to, like, they can do stuff.
Oh, good. I'm a little better explaining.
Well, I did
you.
send you the video. You could pull it up.
You.
This is what.
Man, my thing is lagging. It took so long for it to catch up to us.
I already got it.
Okay. Here. So this is what Sean Strickland had to say after the news of being banned from the White House.
You guys ready? When it starts, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down for sound.
But I got the call. I got the call. UFC higher ups called me, big names. They said, Sean, I gotta apologize, but you're not Israeli enough to go to UFC 250 Israel edition. The White House didn't clear you. And I'm not really surprised, Moving forward, I would like to just apologize to Israel. I'd like to say I'm sorry, I'd like to apologize to Trump, and I just want to prove that I'm Israeli enough for you guys. Like, for instance, whenever the list disappeared and Trump goes out there and says to everybody that he can't really go into it because people that by association will get prosecuted and their names will be tarnished. I want to apologize because, I don't want them to be prosecuted. When Trump goes and bombs the fuck out of Iran that no Americans agree with, they cost Americans $5,000 to $15,000 to go fight Israel's war. I want to apologize. Sorry, I've been a critic of that, Or when Trump goes out there and says, hey, Trump, your approval ratings are the lowest it's ever been across all demographics. And Trump says, well, you know what? I have a 99% approval rate in Israel. I want to apologize and I want to repent. Apparently, I'm not American enough to go to Freedom 250. Yes, I already bought my plane ticket. We're fucking going. I'm going to bring the belt. I'll make it a big fucking bullhorn, and we're going to go right up to the gates. If you guys are going to be there, let's fucking go. Not in a threatening way. We're going to do a peaceful protest outside with a bullhorn. So, FBI, don't come to my house. Very, very peaceful. I'm not surprised, but I got
He says very peaceful. He makes a point of it. I'm surprised he didn't go on to be like, just to let you guys know, I'm not suicidal. I have no issues in my life. I'm very happy.
Seemed like a very happy guy to me.
He's having a good time with that. He made a skit out of that. That was actually funny. I like that.
Yeah, he had just won a fight against the one Russian Muslim dude. Probably not Russian, some Russian adjacent country, but he had won a fight against him, and I thought he was going to lose that fight because that guy was pretty dangerous.
Dude, when you got cauliflower ear, damn well you've been fighting long enough to be able to come out on top even when people weren't thinking you're coming out on top.
Oh shit, they all got cauliflower ear.
I know, that's what I'm saying is you can't count them out.
My thought with that fight though was that guy's a grappler and Sean is a striker. And I was thinking, oh, if he gets Sean on the ground, it's over. But to my surprise, Sean did really well.
You know why?
Strickland. He's a good fighter.
Because he knew, his coach fucking knew if he didn't, that he needed to work on that shit. So that's probably the only thing he worked on, knowing damn well he was going up against a grappler, how to, work shit out. Because he already had all of his training in striking. The only thing he could do is work on his weaknesses so they couldn't be exploited.
Yeah. He's also
I'm supposed to be trying to get
really
into
good
the UFC stuff, bro. That stuff would be getting. I don't know. I can't.
I seen a clip the other day. Dude did like a double windmill kick type shit, and dude just Shit is insane. I need to watch more UFC. That's for sure.
Definitely for sure. I need to try to do something because the fight is definitely next Sunday on the 14th.
Do they show on like Amazon or where do they normally have them? 'Cause I don't.
It's gonna be on where they hosting them at now? Paramount, yeah.
I think we have Paramount. I'm not 100% sure.
On me. Me holding. I just, it's gonna be at the White House. Like, I ain't never thought that'd be ever done, period, at all. White House. Like, let's go. I wanted to go so bad. Mother. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with that, I'm gonna have to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, anytime that you're watching this. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Until next time, tomorrow, marijuana news and laws that's going around the United States of America. Tune into that. Got a lot of stories to cover. Very busy day for me. And with that, I'm saying I'm out. Peace.
This motherfucker is locked.
Talking, I'm in love, baby.